if this executive order goes through, that vet that came back from insert whatever war and has some type of disability with their hand, it's missing or something, they're going to be considered criminals. Now, isn't that nuts? Thanks, ATF. Hey, all you dudes and dudettes. Welcome to Hurstys Garage Plus Guns, and on today's video, I am stinking mad. And that is because I stumbled on the new proposed ruling that the ATF, which is the Alcohol and Tobacco and Firearms Administration, they are going to be proposing a new public notice, which is the proposed rule 2021R-08. And this is an outline that plans to update regulations on stabilizing braces or arm braces. Basically, I'm just going to go over a few things to kind of help you and I better understand this because it is confusing as hell. And before I start, I want to apologize too, because if you've seen some of my other videos, specifically this one right here, and it is on screen, it is me talking about the firearm that I recommended, which is that Smith & Wesson M&P 1522, and it just so happens to have the stupid stabilizing brace on it, and it will fall underneath this rule. So we need to kind of be careful and figure out what we need to do, and hopefully this rule doesn't go through, because it was supposed to go through as of August 2022, but it did not. They pushed it back to, I believe, December of this upcoming year. So we will see, and hopefully it won't be anything that we have to worry about, but don't cross your fingers. So what am I talking about? Well, if you can see on screen here, it's the little end there, which goes into my armpit there, and it's called a stabilizing brace, not a buttstock. I mean, it technically, I think that's why the ATF is so concerned, because they're considering it kind of like a buttstock, because you can put it up against your shoulder. But it was originally developed to help those with disabilities shoot comfortably. Stabilizing braces have become a popular firearm accessory, and they are used to illegally adapt AR style pistols, like the one that you see on screen, to the highly regulated short barreled rifle. According to the ATF, stabilizing braces will now have to conform to a set of stringent guidelines to be considered legal. If they don't meet these standards, they and the gun to which they are attached will automatically become regulated as a rifle under the National Firearms Act. Let's get into the real nitty-gritty details, and I think it is best said by Pew Pew Tactical, and it's written by Jack Billings, editor-in-chief from Pew Pew Tactical. And I like to look at their articles and stuff a lot. And like I said, I think they dive into this topic really, really good. So let's start off with what they say first, which is, what is a pistol brace? And I kind of told you, but let's go over that again. A pistol brace is also known as a stabilizing brace, and is an accessory that attaches to the rear of the gun and allows the firearm to be fired one-handed. And like I said earlier, that really helps like veterans and people with disabilities with their arms and stuff, well, especially their hands, for them to be able to Velcro that little brace structure on their arm, and that way they can shoot more accurately and actually be able to hit a target, which is a very good thing, not a bad thing. So let's see, it is basically slips around the forearm, like I said, of the shooter, and using Velcro secures to the arm. The goal is to stabilize the gun as you're firing, like I said, which is always a good thing. Despite the cool factor, braces actually help gun owners who struggle using full-length shoulder rifles, and lets them enjoy an AR-style firearms comfortably. Okay, so braces versus buttstocks. And this, like I said, this is all important because this is what the ATF is going to be looking at. What makes a brace different from a buttstock? The critical element comes down to how a brace and buttstock are used. A buttstock fits against the shoulder, allowing for better management of the rifle's recoil, but is not secured to the shooter in any way. And as we mentioned earlier, a pistol brace uses the Velcro to attach. That's why I guess the ATF is getting all with their panties in an uproar, because it attaches your arm and it's going to somehow make you awesome Terminator, style killer. I mean, geez. Anyway, let's see here. Let's go down to understanding AR pistols and short-barreled rifles. Again, before heading into the tangled legal battles surrounding the ATF and braces, according to Pew Pew Tactical, they said we need to make a pit stop and discuss AR pistols. AR pistols, simply put, are firearms shrunk down to meet the ATF's definition of a pistol. And yes, that's what my little, or if you have one, the M&P 1522, even though it's a little 22 long rifle caliber pistol, it falls into that category. Thanks to a bit of vagueness on the Gun Control Act's part, AR pistols are able to occupy weird space between pistols and short-barreled rifles. As long as the firearm measures less than, and here's the good parts, less than 26 inches in overall length and features a barrel length of 16 inches or less, and do not come with a buttstock or vertical foregrip, they fall into the AR pistol realm. But to reiterate, an AR pistol cannot use a buttstock. A brace, on the other hand, is entirely a different matter. Yeah, they're getting a little crazy. Short-barreled rifles. While we're on the topic of shorty firearms, we should also discuss short-barreled rifles and how they differ from AR pistols. Honestly, they look very similar and can be confusing differentiating between the two. And all this is confusing, to be honest with you, especially if you don't, go over this stuff all the time. It's crazy. By definition, a short-barreled rifle is also a firearm with a barrel under 16 inches. But there's another major difference between AR pistols and short-barreled rifles: the addition of a buttstock. Unlike AR pistols, short-barreled rifles may sport a buttstock for shouldering, and this is where the ATF gets their panties in a wad. Short-barrel rifles fall under the National Firearms Act and are therefore regulated by the ATF. To own one, there's an entire ATF process which gun owners must go through. And you have to fill out paperwork, undergo a background check, fingerprinting, which you already do in the first place. So I don't know where we're doing this, and paying I do know why, a $200 tax to the ATF. And that's what they're trying. I think that's what this overall thing is coming down to, or their reasoning is, almost, in some estimates I've heard, as little as around 10 million to about 40 million on the top end, Americans are going to have to pretty much do this, which is basically a registry, which they want to get in the first place, which is a huge bonus for them. And then plus they want that revenue of that $200 tax stamp. So yeah, obviously you can tell this is nothing that we want to be a participant of. At least I don't, because I already went through all the background checks and all that crap, and so did you. So, and I don't commit crimes, and so I shouldn't be treated like a criminal. But anyway, after a waiting period, the gun owner eventually receives a tax stamp, and blah, blah, blah. Waiting periods can be as short as a couple months, and then depending on the ATF's backlog, which they take forever, because they have a huge backlog, because they're not They don't have to have any incentive on getting your stuff done on time. So yeah, you can tell how this is going to go too if things go through. Why an AR pistol over an SBR? Basically, an AR pistol undergoes the exact same process as a regular gun purchase, which obviously you know, because if you've gotten one, you went through that same process. But braces can be legally purchased as accessories and added to an existing AR pistol by the owner. Again, there are no extra steps like you will see with short-barreled rifle purchases. And that's where it came down to too with me, is I didn't want to have to go through any of the rigmarole of doing these tax stamps and all that. That's why I went with the AR pistol, which is that Smith & Wesson, because at the time we didn't have to do anything special, and we shouldn't. So let's see here. Their 2021 update, braces versus ATF. In June 2021, that's when I guess this stuff originally started to come around. This time the agency aimed to redefine rifles, excluding the AR pistols and braces from the definition. Instead, it would move braced AR pistols into short-barreled rifle territory, and that's why we got the tax stamp crap and all that, supposedly, and hopefully not. The Department of Justice said the reclassification would clarify when these attached accessories convert pistols into weapons covered by these heightened regulations. Let's see, the ATF proposed a points system, and this is where we get down to the nitty-gritty on how they're going to classify these weapons. And it's to, I guess they say it's to help gun owners determine whether their builds fall into SBR territory or be swept under the National Firearms Act. And let's see here, the point system they go into. So what's involved in the new point system exactly? The new system starts by requiring the firearm in question to at least weigh 64 ounces with an overall length between 12 and 26 inches. This starting point ensures you're working with at least a non-NFA firearm in the first place, because it's an NFA firearm under another category, then you need to apply for a tax stamp regardless. After making sure you don't already have an FA item, then they look for other features. One to expect to see is whether the attached brace is intended to be fired from the shoulder. The idea being that if a brace essentially makes the pistol act like a rifle, then it should be considered a short barrel rifle instead of a pistol, with a brace on it. Even portions of the brace, like a rear surface area, are assigned points to determine if there's sufficient surface area on the rear to be used on the shoulder. The rules unfortunately don't seem to provide any definitive measurement, which is a huge problem, and what is considered minimal surface area, or even what amount of surface area differentiates between the points being assigned to each minimal versus a large amount of surface area. So yeah, incredibly vague, and it kind of will make you think, there's no set of standard guidelines. They kind of throw things in there and think, oh yeah, that seems to be a clear-cut, decisive measurement. Well, obviously it isn't, and there's going to be a whole bunch of people thinking, okay, I don't know what the heck you're talking about, and that's including me. The ambiguity could potentially give lots of leeway to the ATF too, which I don't ever want to hear ambiguity and giving them leeway to the ATF. Those words in that sentence, I don't ever want to hear that. But this arbitrary decides that the ATF might arbitrarily decide that the brace is to be considered a stock and the pistol is actually a short-barreled rifle, which, yeah, I mean, they can go any way they want to. The checklist also goes through the different types of stabilizing support, assigning points to support systems, including the counterbalance, fin type, and cuff type of said braces. Let's see, if going through the checklist results in too many points total, you lose you lose the game, which means your pistol will, with the stabilizing brace, would fall under the SBR territory. To get a handle on how much difficult the point system can be, check out the fantastic video, and they recommend this little link right here. Is to try to determine whether the AR pistol is legal under the proposed rules. And they have a little form here. It is the ATF form 4999, I guess. And you can go to the ATF site itself, which right here, you bring it up, and they have the official rulings on here, and what form you will actually need to fill out, which is that worksheet 4999. But like I said, we'll cross our fingers and hopefully we don't have to do this. But here we go. What happens if the proposed regulations are approved? Should the proposed regulations win favor and pass, gun owners would see a few things happen. And under the new point system, you would have a few options if your firearm fell into the SBR territory. Number one, it would be permanently removing the stabilizing brace so it cannot be reattached and convert the firearm back to a pistol. Well, in my case, I can't do that because it is a permanent fixture to that weapon. So that ain't gonna happen, can't do that. Change the barrel to be 16 inches or longer. That can't happen either. It's just that's not gonna work. Destroy the firearm, not gonna do that, and hopefully you guys don't either. Turn the firearm into the ATF, definitely not going to do that. Spent too much money on that, and yeah, they're not getting my weapon like that, no. Or the fifth thing, apply for a tax stamp on the SBR, and that's what they want you to do. I mean, ultimately, I'm sure they actually want you to destroy the weapon, and they don't want us to have any weapons whatsoever. But yeah, I'm thinking number 5 is pretty much going to be what all of us do if this ruling does come into play. They say how to fight the regulations. One thing I will say is, yeah, talk to your congressman and write them or whatever, and make sure that your voice is heard, because this should not pass. There was back on the ATF site, you could do something like a Federal Register action where you could write a letter to them, but I believe that was you may submit these comments on or before September 8th, 2021. So I believe that is already over. So I don't think that is an option unless they haven't updated this site. So I don't know if you can do that or not. But that would be something you probably would be a good idea to look into, and that's what I'm going to be looking into, because basically that's what they say on here is 2A advocates immediately spoke out against these policies with Firearm Policy Coalition, blah blah blah. Guy there stands ready to defend the people. That guy there, and he works for the FPC, also launched a Save the Brace campaign to fight against the proposed regulation. There's a little link there that you can click on, and they might have more information. As with the ATF's proposed regulations for frames and receivers, that's a different story. The 80%ers, that also, I guess you can do the Federal Register on that one, but that's not for this video because we're talking about the braces. But that's what they, I guess, want you to do is click on that Federal Register and go to that ATF site. But yeah, it's already passed. So this is a little older article, must be. So yeah, I think the best thing to do is contact your congressman, and probably go to like some type of gun advocate site, your favorite gun advocate site, like NRA or whatever, and I'm sure they will have options to click on, links to either go directly to your congressman or to sign a petition or something like that. And I will put down some links below to go ahead, make it easier for you, so you can, directly just click on a link or something and because we need to fight this, because this is not a good thing. And like I said, I apologize for recommending a weapon that supposedly falls under these conditions. But yeah, that's your ATF for you. They're making criminals out of law-abiding citizens. And I just normally don't do these type of videos, but it just pisses me off to no end when they start throwing this stuff around, and it's illegal for them to do this. It has not. Who are they? They don't decide laws like this. Congress does. So yeah, it's crazy. Like I said, hopefully this doesn't pass, because it's not their right to just arbitrarily throw things around and say, yeah, you got to do this and you got to do that. Well, we did not ask you or give you permission to do any of that. So anyway, guys, hopefully you like this video. Like I said, click some links below that I'll share to make sure that this does not go through, and that you are updated on everything, because like they say in the law enforcement world, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up if it helped you out. Share the crap out of it, because I know there's a lot of people that don't know about this stuff, and they're going to be, I guess, criminals. So yeah, share the crap out of it. Comment down below. Tell me what you think about this, and be nice. I know you want to, and I do too, want to just start swearing up a storm. But yeah, be nice, but let me know your true feelings about this. And I guess I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks. Peace. Love you.